Hey everybody, it is Saturday, May 8th, and I went out mushroom hunting with a friend this morning and we found a bunch of them. And these are just a few that I kept. Um, I let my friend keep all the other ones, but we got a pretty good score. Those are the nice big yellow ones that are the later ones in the season. If you're not familiar with a morel mushroom, Google it. They grow, I think, in every state in the continental U.S. It's just a different time for each state. So around here in Northeast Ohio, it's usually like the first week of May. You find them. I mean, you can find them a little earlier. There's different varieties. There's grays. There's blacks. But these are the yellow ones. These are the most. I think they're the best, and you can see they're pretty good size. Here, I'll put a fork in there so you can kind of get a perspective for how big they are. But so I like to soak them in a little bit of salty water. It drives any of the bugs or anything out of them. And then I'll slice them into, usually the bigger ones, into like quarters or halves on some of the smaller ones, and roll them in flour and fry them with butter in a skillet. So I will be doing that this evening at some point, but I just wanted to make a quick little video while these things were soaking. Here I am gonna try to cut this open, but they're a hollow mushroom. Oh, there we go. Trying to cut it open on camera here using one hand without destroying this thing. But you want to want to cut them in half usually. Those bigger ones I might cut down one more time, but you can see I don't know what that is in there, so I like to rinse them out real good on the inside, make sure there's no bugs hiding in there and stuff. But yep, that is them. So here we go. They're all sliced up, and I'll go through the process of how I like to prepare them. Doing a little prep here, melting a little bit of butter, and I put a little drop of oil in there just because it raises the flash point of the butter when you cook on it. So we're gonna let that melt. I turned the burner off, so I'm just gonna let that melt in there. And then over here, I have the Morels. This is flour, a little salt and pepper, a little dash of onion powder, a little dash of garlic powder, and a little bit of Lowry's. So I've tried, I've made Morels 1,000 different ways, and this is the way that I like the best because I think it's the first way I ever tried them was like this. So this is my personal favorite. Just got to roll them in the flour and then fry them in the butter, like kind of saute them. They are fantastic that way. I've deep fried them. I've used like a batter. I've used like a wet batter. I've used like shore lunch. I've tried deep frying them. I've tried everything. Trust me. The only way they get any better is impossible, in my opinion. But everybody probably has their own way of doing them. But this is my favorite way. And I'm gonna go through the cooking process here of them. All right, so you just take your morel and you roll it in the flour. Make sure you get some in the little spongy parts, about like that. And then it can go over here. And then you grab your next piece and you put it in there. And these are big ones. I mean, pretty blessed to have these giant yellows today. There a lot of times when you're doing them, these are going to be fantastic. A lot of times when you're doing them, they're like these sized ones, these little guys. Those were the first ones we found today, so let's roll those in there too. But you keep the process going until they're all breaded, and then we'll do the frying. All right, so here are our morels with our little flour batter on them, and I got the butter heating up good. So we're gonna take them and put them in the butter. Pretty simple stuff here. The butter is good and hot. You want to start putting them in. It might not be quite hot enough yet. I'm going to do the little ones first because they don't take long. the pieces. There's a piece. There's another one. That's a piece. There's a piece. All right, so you just kind of fry them until they're golden brown. I probably should turn that down a little bit, but it's kind of what you're looking for there. Ooh, that one looks good. Yeah, these little ones don't take very long, and they shrink up too, so that's why you want the big ones. I mean, come on, man. And they are progressing nicely. Well, I'm going in with round 2 here with the big ones. Round 1 turned out pretty good. These little guys right here. Oh man, so delicious. These are the good ones. The little ones are good, but this is where that is, I gotta have that one here. Oh man. So delicious. Yeah, in my opinion, where all the flavor is in this big, meaty, spongy looking part. That's where the best part is. So these are prime. All right, so these are the big ones. And I just dusted them with a little bit of salt. And I'm going to let them cool just a little bit, and then I'm going to have a taste test. All right, folks, here's the moment of truth. All right, well, here's the moment of truth. Little fried morel mushroom. Absolutely fantastic. The greatest part about morels, I mean, the flavor is awesome. I mean, it's very unique. But one of the things that I love the most about them is there's about a 2 or 3 week window when you can find them. Now you can go down south. There's people that chase them all over the country. You know, they start down in like Georgia and then Tennessee and then, you know, Kentucky and Southern Ohio starts about a week before up here in Northeast Ohio. And there's people that follow them, and then they go up into Michigan, and I think Minnesota's like in the middle of June. But one of the greatest things for me, cheers, is it's something, number one, you have to find yourself. You can't, well, I mean, there are people that sell them and restaurants that have them and stuff, but it's hard to find them anyways. But it's the going out into the woods and finding the mushrooms, and you only get it for 2 weeks a year. I mean, if you want a morel in the middle of October, good luck. I mean, there's people that try to save them, and I've read all the different ways that people try to preserve them. They don't taste like that, I can tell you that. So it's one of the things in life that you have this little short window of enjoying them, and I do it every year. I've been hunting these things since I was probably 12 years old. My dad showed me what they were, and gosh, every spring after that, I was in the woods looking for them. And now that's what the Bass Run thing was. One of the last videos I posted is a bunch of us from up here go down to Southern Ohio with my friends. That's where I grew up, was Southern Ohio. Go down there at the beginning of the season and try to find them down there. And then the greatest part is I come back up here and then it's primo season up here a week later. So it extends the season and stuff. So, oh man, these things are so delicious. And it's just enough too. We found a lot more of these today, and I gave the other ones to my friend because you can only eat so much. I mean, they're fried in butter and they're very rich, and they are delicious. I'll tell you that. Whoa.